What's up, guys?
Guys, I'm Ashita.
And I'm Jade, and we're Superposition Fremont's chapter leads.
In this month's video series, we will be hosting a Q&A interviews with various STEM-oriented clubs from different high schools in Fremont.
In today's video, we'll be interviewing club leaders from American High School, which also happens to be the high school that both Ashita and I attend. So on today's agenda, we'll be interviewing the club leads of American High School Science Olympiad team, Girls Who Code Club, VEX and FTC robotics teams, AI Club, Graphic Design Club, and Math Club.
So first up, we have our Girls Who Code president,
who just so happens to be one of Superposition Fremont's chapter leads, and yours truly. Take it away, Ashita.
So Jade, can you describe what Girls Who Code is at American High School?
Girls Who Code at American is basically just a club for girls to get to learn more about computer science field. We specifically teach lessons in programming languages such as Python and HTML.
What are your plans for this upcoming year?
All right, so this year I'm probably going to plan on continuing to teach programming lessons in different language like Python and HTML, which I have already said, and also kind of hold these little workshops where members can learn more about other important CS concepts like GitHub, which is something that they don't really teach you in most classes, and it's something that I think is really, really important. And we'll probably be holding these meetings/lessons on Zoom every Friday afternoon, which is what our meetings used to be before all the COVID-19 stuff.
So relating this to the current times, how is your club dealing with the COVID-19 situation?
At the moment, we're not really doing much specifically for COVID-19. Though I would think it would be awesome for, our more experienced club members to work together and create some kind of project that really tackles the situation. So yeah, definitely something to look forward to in the future.
This is actually one of the questions a person asked from the poll, and they asked, how do you overcome the fear of being a judge as a club leader?
That's a really good question. Like, kudos to whomever sent in that question, because yeah, that's a really good one. To be honest, I still sometimes kind of struggle with these kinds of fears, thinking, shoot, what if I'm not doing enough for my club? Or what if no one likes the activities that my club is holding? But, I try to face those fears by actively asking other members whether or not they like what we're doing or asking for feedback on what we should do. And of course, when I see the girls in my club, happy, bonding, and learning a ton, then all those struggles are, worth it. Makes me happy.
And this is more of a general question, which usually show up on the application process. Mm-hmm. How do you go from being just a member to being a club officer? What are some characteristics that you look for in potential club officers and leads?
Okay, so that really varies from club to club. For Girls Who Code specifically, and me getting the role, I didn't formally apply for any positions. Instead I was selected by the previous club president due to my hard work and, leadership skills. And thank you. As for the second question, I'd say that the things that I look for in potential candidates are just whether or not you're willing to work hard, and also whether or not you're willing to help other members. For Girls Who Code specifically, since we're a very learning-based club, if there's someone else who doesn't really get what is currently being taught, but you get what's currently being taught, then you should go ahead and help, whomever's struggling. I think that's definitely really good. And also just being friendly to everyone, that's something that a good leader needs to have.
Yes, thank you for the insightful advice. So this is more of like future plans and stuff. Are there any opportunities for people in our community from various high schools and other schools to get more involved with your club?
Yeah, of course, there's a ton, not only for people who go to different high schools around our area, but also for people who go to like elementary school and middle school. Like for me personally, I joined American's Girls Who Code Club, the 7th grader, which I know sounds really weird, like a middle schooler going to a high school club, but it's totally okay. No shame in doing that. In fact, I 10 out of 10 encourage it. It was a really good experience for me. So, any middle schoolers and elementary schoolers out there, totally go join our club. It's great. And the way you could do that is just by contacting me via email. And here's my email right here. So yeah, if you're interested in joining, definitely hit me up, or you could also contact me on Facebook. That's totally cool too.
Yes, Jade here is very friendly and easy to talk to.
Thank you. Ashita's also very friendly.
Any announcements for Girls Who Code?
I guess in terms of like announcements and final words, just for anyone who's interested in coding but doesn't really have any experience or doesn't really know where to start, Girls Who Code is an amazing club for you to pick up the basics of programming and really kind of figure out whether or not you like computer science or not. And for members who have already joined Girls Who Code, officer applications are coming out this year, something to look forward to. So yeah, get excited, join the club. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us, Jade.
Alrighty, guys, so I'm here with Science Olympiad's Vice President, Ruth. How are you doing today, Ruth?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great too. Thank you for asking. All right, so tell me a little bit about Science Olympiad.
So Science Olympiad, it's a competitive STEM club where we have like a couple of teams, and then you compete in a variety of fields of STEM. Like we have biology, physics, earth science, astronomy. There's a little bit of cryptography. And then you get to take tests with a partner, which is the fun part.
All right, sounds really cool. So since you said it was a competition-based club, do you know what the plans are next year in terms of the competition? Have they told you yet?
So a lot of competitions are currently working out what the plans are. The Science Olympiad has officially released some statements on like how competitions should proceed, but most competitions haven't decided yet. There are a couple that will be purely online, and we're planning on joining those. But there's a couple that are like, they're kind of on the fence about whether it will be in person or online right now. Those are the ones that are later in the year, like in February or March.
I see. All right, real cool. So how is your club currently dealing with the COVID-19 situation? You guys meeting online?
Yeah, we're currently meeting online, and we also moved tryouts online, so that way, like, I mean, obviously you can't hold tryouts in real life anymore.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So you're speaking about tryouts. Is that how you joined the team, or?
Yeah, tryouts is how you join the team. People take tests to show that they know the material, or they submit a blueprint to like show us their plans for what they're going to build. Even though we're not exactly sure if builds will even happen this year, but we still want to be prepared just in case they do. And then for tryouts, past experience is not as important as the performance on the tryout test. And then if you're interested in tryouts, join our classroom, which can be found on Facebook.
Okay, sounds really interesting. I'm sure our viewers will look into that. So how about opportunities for other students who aren't from American, whether it's like middle schoolers or elementary schoolers or just students from other schools? Is there anything that Science Olympiad offers for them?
I'll give a quick shout out to this thing we're doing with MSJ Science Olympiad called Adams. We're just offering some general science classes to middle schoolers from the week of August 17th to 21 as a fundraiser for our two clubs. And it's not exactly tailored to Science Olympiad, but it will cover some of the topics that are in Division B Science Olympiad. Furthermore, sometimes individual team members are interested in helping middle or elementary school students in the American attendance area. So if a coach from Thornton or any of the elementary schools is interested, they can email us and we can reach out to the team to see if anyone would be willing to tutor the kids.
Yo, okay, that sounds super cool. Just the last few quick things. How do you contact Science Olympiad other than from Facebook? Is there another way, or?
Well, we have an email, which is americanscienceolympiad@gmail.com. And we also have a YouTube if you want to subscribe.
All right, we'll do.
Thank you. Yeah, and finally we have a website, ahs-scioli.org, and you can just go on there and there's like a contact us page for more information.
Okay, sounds great. And any last announcement, final words before we end this interview?
So tryouts begins on August 31st, but you can like join now in our classroom, which can be found on our Facebook page again. And obviously this is for American students only. Please don't try to join if you're from another school. That'd be really awkward. And yeah, just reiterating, we are also working with MSJ to hold the summer camp fundraiser for middle school students. Yeah, you should go check that out. We have information on the link, which is tinyurl.com/adams-signup.
Alrighty, we'll post that stuff in the description below. So if you guys are interested, please go check it out. Go down there. And thank you so much for calling in today and hanging out with me, Ruth. Definitely
No
enjoyed
problem.
it.
Thanks for the interview.
Alrighty, guys, so we're here with two of American high school's robotics teams. Here is Rahul and Maithili from FTC and Cassandra and Asilah from VEX. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Hey guys, my name's Rahul and I'm the captain of FTC Team 5773 Ink and Metal. In Ink and Metal, we participate in an annual robotics competition called the First Tech Challenge. Throughout the season, we attempt to do community outreach, connect with STEM professionals, as well as build and code a robot designed to complete certain missions.
And hi, I'm Maithili. I'm co-captain of mechanical from Team 5773.
My name is Cassandra, and I am the captain of 97101G at American High School. And in American High School, VEX is an all-girls robotics organization. And we currently have 2 teams, which totals to 20 girls. And being all girls, we seek to include more women in the primarily male-dominated fields in STEM. And there are also definite advantages of being all girls, because as it happens, robotics includes a fair amount of late-night cram sessions. So it's a lot more fun.
Hi, my name is Asilah, and I'm the captain of 97101W.
So let's get started with the questions. What are the plans for the upcoming year? VEX and FTC are both competition-based clubs, and therefore, what plans and what competitions and how are the competitions going to be conducted?
So this upcoming season, the nonprofit organization FIRST has decided to hold remote events in November and December due to the current circumstances. And then in January and February, maybe we might go back to the traditional events. So therefore, we will still be building and coding a robot, as well as doing a lot of community outreach in order to help our local community, as well as maybe make a nationwide or global impact. And
Alrighty, well, that sounds super cool. How about you guys in VEX? What are your future plans?
Firstly, there are going to be a lot of online challenges this year due to the current situation, so we're planning to enter as many of those as we can. An example of an online challenge is programming your robot to score as many points as possible within a certain period of time, or documenting and sending in your design and build process. Winning these challenges can directly qualify your team for Worlds, which saves the hassle of going to in-person competitions. Secondly, there might be a few in-person competitions later on in the year, and what we plan on doing then is sending as few people as possible to the competition, taking all sorts of precautions, and video calling if we need help from our other teammates. There will also be a few skills-only competitions as well, which means rather than competing against other teams, we'll simply have to score as many points as we can within a given time. The purpose of this is to reduce human contact and promote social distancing, and that's pretty much it for now.
Alrighty, well, that sounds very interesting. So, FTC team, how is your team dealing with the current COVID-19 situation? Are you guys doing anything to help out the community during this time?
Yeah, so we're doing a lot of different outreach projects to help our community. So around April or March or April, we started by creating a donation website where people could donate and the funds go directly to Alameda County Food Bank. So we as a team decided to donate 65% of the profit we made off of classes we were running at the time. And through outside donations, we were able to donate a total of $5,300 to Alameda County Food Bank. And currently we're making around 300 face shields to distribute to various hospitals. And we're also making tools that allow you to decrease your contact with door handles. And we have distributed some of those at Alameda County Food Bank.
Yes, that's quite a lot. What about the VEX team? Are you guys doing anything too?
Our club started fundraising for our next season through teaching STEM classes online last spring, which is inspired by FTC. And We originally planned to have it as a one-time fundraiser for us to fund for our next season because of the current COVID situation. But after we finished our first round of classes, we received a lot of positive feedback from the parents and the students, and they said that they would be interested in attending another session of classes. So we're looking into setting up another round of classes this fall. And since we're no longer in need of the funding, our profits will be donated to local hospitals or organizations to help coronavirus.
Yes, thank you so much for doing a lot for our community. I was wondering, for people interested in trying out for your club, how can you join the robotics teams? What are tryouts like, and what do you look for in potential team members?
So for FTC, I just want to start by saying it's really a great club. Like, I've had amazing experience doing FTC, whether it's learning technical skills or, you know, how to work in a team setting. And so through FTC, I've gotten to go to lots of the states competitions, and last year we were also able to go to Worlds, which was really cool and a great experience. So we really want other people to be able to experience this as well. So currently we have an interest form circulating on Facebook and other social media that people can fill out so that they can get updates. So we're probably going to have 2 tryouts, one before school and one after school starts. And within these tryout processes, students will have to answer different logic-based and skill-based questions. They'll probably have to let us know about their experience, other commitments, and reasons for joining our team. But I do strongly encourage everyone to try out regardless of experience, because we're mainly looking for people who are passionate and willing to learn and willing to work hard over someone who just knows more technical skill.
Alrighty, super cool. So VEX Girls, I know that your team is an all-girls team that really lines up with Superposition's mission. And I think a lot of our viewers would be interested in joining your team. So how is your tryout process? What's it like?
So we have 2 tryout times. The first one is at the end of the school year so that we can start building for the next season during summer. And the second one is at the beginning of the new school year, really for anyone, but mainly for freshmen. But don't be intimidated just because it's for freshmen. There's still a high chance that you can get in. So as of this year, because of quarantine, first we have an application where you choose which positions you want to apply for, list out your commitments, and explain why you should be chosen for your position. After submitting that, we have a project for each position, which you then submit and we review. And then after that, there are interviews, and your interviews can at times make or break your application. So we want you to know what you're talking about. And even if you don't have much experience in robotics, if you're extremely interested, you should properly research and understand what you'll be presenting in your interview. As long as you're confident in your presentation, but not necessarily arrogant, I'd say you have a pretty good chance of making the team.
Alrighty, that's really cool. So we've talked about opportunities for students at American to join you guys' teams, but how about students from outside of American, whether it's middle schoolers or elementary schoolers or just high schoolers from other schools? How can they get involved with your teams?
So since we're a school affiliated team, we can't exactly take in members from other schools. So we try to provide a lot of other opportunities for middle school and elementary school students to get involved in our team. For example, in the coding and engineering classes that we ran during quarantine, we were able to get students, around 40 to 50 students from 5th all the way up to 9th grade. And we were able to teach them STEM skills that will be useful for later on in their life. And right now we have started a robotics initiative in order to mentor FLL teams, first Lego League teams, in middle school. And right now we're in the brainstorming phase of a trash sorter, and we hope to implement this trash sorter in a elementary or middle school, and hopefully students will be intrigued by this device and more interested in STEM that way.
Yes, thank you so much, FTC, for continuing on the research process and engineering pathway. What about you guys, robotics teams, VEX robotics team?
So since we're a high school team, our members only come from students at American High School, but for current middle schoolers who might be interested in joining VEX, we strongly encourage you to take the robotics elective in Thornton. because the class utilizes VEX parts, and you will have a head start on the VEX system if you plan on joining us in high school. And for elementary students, look into our fall session of classes. We offer Introduction to Programming, which involves block coding and a small amount of text coding for a virtual VEX robot, and Introduction to Python, which teaches Python.
So for people who are interested in becoming a part of the teams, how can they contact you?
So people can check out our website, ahsinkaandmetal.org, where we constantly update our progress throughout the season. And they can also check out our Facebook page or our Instagram, Ink and Metal Robotics.
Super cool. And for VEX, how can we contact you?
So we have 3 emails you can contact us at. The first one is ahsvexrobotics@gmail.com. The second one is thing1971101@gmail.com. The third one is thing2971101@gmail.com. Or you can join our Facebook page at tinyurl.com/ahsgirlsvex.
Alrighty, super cool. So do you guys have any last words to tell our viewers or any announcements?
We have a small shout out to the American High School class of 24 to apply for our teams. We have 4 spots open right now for incoming, targeting incoming freshmen, and we look forward to having you join our team.
Okay, well, thank you guys so much for calling in and being interviewed today. We greatly appreciate it. I think all of our viewers will appreciate it too.
And thank you for presenting these wonderful opportunities for outside school and inside school people.